Hello Fretwellers and welcome back to MrMFretwell Plays Minecraft, and we're here today in the cabin, and in today's episode I am going to be talking to you guys about the master plan. So this little book right here is the master plan, and you may be wondering what's the master plan for. Well, it's for what I want to do at my next base here for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to explain all of my ideas and thoughts and things like that to you today, and then depending on how long we have, we will probably start taking a look at kind of cleaning up this area, making the branch mine look a little bit prettier. So let's just hop in here and let's open up the book. So here we go, the master plan. So this book contains pretty much everything that I want to do in my base. Not in this particular cabin, but in this area that we've now settled down in. So let's see here then. So the base is going to be themed around a laboratory setting. So it's going to be kind of very labby, sort of very clean, fresh. There's going to be a lot of quartz involved, a lot of clay, things like that really. And it's also going to be themed around redstone and automation, so there's going to be a lot of redstone at this base. One thing I've wanted to do for quite a while is actually play with redstone more, as I've not really done too much of it in survival mode. Certainly, aside from what little bit I did do at the 4, I haven't done too much with redstone, certainly in survival mode. So I would like to kind of mess around with that, get funky with comparators, repeaters, hoppers, mine carts, things along those lines, and really get to grips with it a little more and play around with it, see what it can do. I want to come up with some ideas on my own and kind of figure things out as we go along. So we're going to have a main building, which is going to be the lab, and around it is going to be automatic farms. So I guess we should kind of take a look at where I want to put certain things. So over here, up on this hill, not right here, around here, in this general area is where I want to put down the lab, which is going to function as our main building, and inside there is going to be where my crafting is. I'm going to build an automatic smelter, and I'm possibly going to have brewing in here as well, an enchantment table station set up probably in there, maybe a giant map of the area, things like that is what we are going to be doing in the main lab building, and that's going to be over here. And over on the other side of the lake, which is where the crops are now, just around there, we're going to have all of our automatic farms going on. I think at the very least for right now, all of the automatic farms. Some are going to be underground, like mushrooms. We're going to farm those underground because it's easier to do it. But things like carrots, potatoes, wheat, things like that, we're going to farm on the surface. I'm just going to pass the night real quick here. And that kind of ties in a little bit to what I'm going to talk about next. So this base is also going to integrate 3 big projects, along with the lab itself, which is kind of a 4th. There's going to be a darkroom trap, a slime farm, and a gold farm added to my world, and they are going to be at this base. So I'm not entirely sure on the locations for all of these. I know roughly where the gold farm is going to go. When we go into the nether, I'm going to build a ladder well straight up to the bedrock, and we are going to break through the bedrock using the dark oak trick, and I'm going to put the gold farm up there. As for the dark room, I don't know where we're going to put that yet, and the slime farm is going to go where slime chunks are and where there's a large group of them that we can actually build a farm out of. So we'll do a bit of research into that before moving on that. But all 3 of those things are going to be built at this base over the next few months. And this is going to be a big project. It's not going to be something that's going to be done overnight. This is going to be done over several months. And we'll see how things go, because I kind of want to do a lot of stuff without using tutorials or videos. I want to come up with things myself. Even if it is the exact same as what someone else has done, at least then I figured it out on my own, which is kind of what I want to do at this base. So, many of the items produced by the various devices are going to be hooked up via a system of pipes and minecarts to a central storage area, which they can be then collected and used. And I'm thinking of putting the central storage area kind of underneath where that lake is, because the lake is almost the entire center of what we're doing here. There's going to be the lab up there, the farms right there, probably the slime farm in somewhere here, and the dark room nearby too. So it's all going to kind of revolve around this area. So I think we're going to hook up a main storage center right in here, right in the central area, which is going to be our big storage room where we can go and pick up stuff and use it. Say if I fancy one day messing around with TNT, I could just run down from my lab, which will become my base, instead of this cabin. I could go in the storage room, get a load of gunpowder, get a load of sand, and then I could start messing around with things. So it's going to be a huge storage room. It's going to have storage for pretty much every block and item in the game. So it's going to be quite a challenge in itself to do that. So we'll have to see how that really pans out. But that's the aim at the moment, to have a nice big clean storage room. So moving on from that, really, let's see, where did we get to? Okay, so right here. So along with this, there's going to be a large amount of decoration going on, and we're going to try and attempt to keep the terrain as natural as possible. I don't want to tear huge holes in things and make it look a mess. I want to keep it very natural. The only things that might get changed is a bunch of trees might get chopped down in this general area so that I could just see and get around a little bit easier. But not too much more than that. There's going to also be many cool but useless buildings or machines that could be around. So for example, one idea I have is wind turbines. I would like to have some wind turbines somewhere, being as we are in a mountainous area. I'm thinking maybe over there on that hill, if we slightly level it off a bit, we could have a bunch of wind turbines up there. Or maybe over there, perhaps, just somewhere in this area, and other things like that that might look cool, kind of have buildings maybe scattered around, things like that I would like to sort of integrate. And if you have any ideas or any questions relating to anything I've talked about in this book, then put them down below in the comments, because I would love to hear your guys' feedback on what I want to do with this. And I'm looking to build on the master plan. This is kind of a very draft type plan at the moment, and you're going to have a little bit of time to really think about what you want to say, because while I'm talking to you guys about this now, it's going to be a little while before we get into it, and that is because of the following reasons. Well, we're going to talk about that in a moment. Firstly though, everything should be as connected and integrated as we possibly can. I don't want it to be sort of very disjointed, which is why I want to have the storage room, which is going to be a central area. I want to kind of keep everything connected, short walkways between everything and things like that, really. So, yeah, that's one thing that I really want to keep throughout the space. Unlike the fort, it's not going to be one building, it's going to be many buildings and things underground going on and various collection points, and possibly this right here could move, maybe not the cabin so much, but certainly the portal might move. We're going to have an area hooked up to the branch mines, things like that. So we're going to have to keep that in mind when trying to build this. I don't want it to all be distant and disjointed. I want it all to kind of flow and make sense. So, moving on from that, and this kind of ties into what I was talking about earlier in the sense of giving you guys some time to think about what I've said, is that this base is going to require a lot of supplies and a lot of different resources, and some of which we don't actually have yet. So we must go on an adventure and collect all those different supplies. So next episode we are going to be heading out on a quest to try and find these different items. And some are going to be easier to get than others. I actually have a list of all the items that I need. We've got acacia saplings, dark oak saplings, melon seeds we don't have, birch saplings, jungle saplings, packed ice, podsol. I would like to get access to a mesa biome if I could, because if we're going to be using a lot of clay, getting access to a mesa is going to be great. I've got sort of some supplies put together already, ready for next episode. In my ender chest here, we're going to be taking that with us. Places to put up portals, some bones to maybe tame a wolf or two. I've got a saddle and some diamond horse armor to get a good horse, some leads, things like that. So we kind of want to keep everything integrated as best we can, but it is going to take a little bit of time to kind of get everything rolling, and we do need to get those supplies first. So we're going to work on that first, and then after that we will actually get stuck into the base. Now I already have collected a bunch of supplies for the lab, so we'll probably start work on that after we've been on the adventure, and that's probably going to maybe take 2-3 episodes to go on that adventure and find all those different supplies, because some are going to be easier than others, like the birch saplings. We're going to get those pretty easily because there's a forest nearby, but packed ice, podsol, melon seeds, they're going to be pretty challenging to get, honestly. We do have that hook up to the mushroom biome, which is going to be really handy, so I kind of struck my psyllium and mushrooms off the list. What else I would like to do is kind of under the lab have like those biotanks or whatever, and kind of use mobs in that, maybe named mobs, things like that. Almost like a little testing facility type deal as well. So I've got a lot of ideas floating around, and we're just going to have to see how things go. But for right now, just getting that master plan out there and getting my ideas out, I think is a good start. So rather than start that adventure now, what I do want to do is I actually want to work on this area right here. And this, if you are not aware, is actually my path down to my current branch mines. And it's not ideal, honestly. It's a staircase which is pretty bad, honestly. It is what it is. It's done the job, but I would like to improve travel to it a little bit if I can. And as well as that, kind of clean things up a little bit down the staircase, because it's pretty ugly looking, honestly. I would like to make that look a lot nicer and a lot cleaner if I could. So just wanted to get that tree out of the way first, and possibly this tree too, because it's kind of in the way there a little bit. So we'll get rid of that and let those decay. And I would like to see if we have... Wow, we don't have too many things in terms of stone bricks to work with, but I do know that there is some down there, so we can actually go and grab those real quick. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a little entrance way here. I'm going to have to move a little bit of this out of the way to kind of make it flow a little bit better. There we go, and let's just try and I just want to kind of keep it a little bit natural looking, so something like that maybe. But at the same time, I do want to move it away from where the branch mines are going to be. So down here is actually a bunch of smooth stone, because I used Silk Touch to mine for a while, as it's, honestly, once you have a Silk Touch pick, it makes next to no sense to smelt lots and lots of cobblestone in furnaces to make smooth stone. So we're going to grab a bunch of this, and there we go. And we're going to make up a bunch of stone bricks, and we're going to get an entrance set up. Then we're going to work on the staircase, and I'm thinking about putting a minecart in here too, because that would really improve travel. And I am going to have a minecart system down here anyway to deposit ores to my storage room, that central storage facility I was talking about. There's going to be a minecart track down here which will automatically detect when we put items in it. It will wait until we have completely filled it up, and then it will go on a journey into the central storage room, and it will deposit ores at their various different places. Now, these ores are going to be cooked already. It's just going to be, well, maybe not actually, I don't know, we'll have to think about that. It doesn't make a lot of sense because I don't have my auto smelter down here. I may build one down there, and the output of the auto smelter may actually go straight into the minecart. So we'll just have to see on that and kind of plan out how we want to do that. One thing I do know that we're going to have to do is actually make this a little bit wider if we're going to put a decent stairwell in, and it's not going to be sort of banging your head like it is now. So if we try that and see how this goes, I do have a couple of stairs actually to kind of try out as well. Got some stone brick steps. Do I want to add a little area out front? I kind of think I do. I don't want it to just go straight into that, especially if we go with the minecart idea. So we'll kind of fill this in. I've got plenty of dirt, so I'm not worried about it. We'll just kind of fill in this little area right here. Get rid of that grass. There we go. And grass will respread to that over time, and that won't be too much of a worry. There. That looks a little better, I think. And we'll have some of these right here, and I'm going to make it... I could either make it one shorter or one longer. We'll go with one longer. It won't hurt. Wait, is that what... No, that's not what I wanted to do, is it? I wanted to go one longer by doing this. Not sure 100% how I'm going to do this yet. There we go. And I'm going to put some torches on here for right now. There we are. So we've got that going. And I think I'm going to put iron bars in here or something like that to kind of cap it all off. and make it look really nice, but we'll have to see on that. So if I start my staircase here, I can either replace the current steps, which is what I'm thinking I'm going to do, or I could alternatively put them in between where the current steps are. But I'm leaning more towards the replace option. So let's take a look and let's see how we could really improve this, even if it's just a little bit. Now we are going to have to think about lighting, as the torches that I've got in place are going to go, so we'll have to think about that. We are going to need a lot more stairs though, that's for sure. So I'm going to hop back in here and get a crafting table going. In fact, I'm going to bring one with me. Do I have a crafting table lying around? No. Well, I guess in that case then we are just going to have to use this one. So if I make this, that's going to give me 40 steps. That's a good start for right now. I do want to get some iron bars going as well, so we will whip up some of those real quick. I guess we didn't need that too much. 32 iron bars should be plenty for what we need. So let's see how we get on here. I really do like the look that iron bars have with the stone bricks. They suit each other a lot. They really do complement each other. We get some dirt out, as I want to kind of hide that a little bit. Don't like the way that looks too much. There we are, and that looks a lot better. Gosh, I can't speak today. Been having a bit of trouble with that lately. I'm not sure why. So let's just knock a couple of these out. And let's kind of see what it looks like. So it wouldn't be too bad, but I do like the high roof that we were going with. I really do like that. I think that I want to kind of stick with this. Yeah, I do like that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that, I think. It looks, at least to me, it looks a lot better. It kind of gives you more room. It's a bit more open, so I think we're going to go with that. And I'm going to convert the staircase into steps, and then I will be back and we'll probably look at integrating a minecart into this and see what we can do with that. So I will work on this, guys. Alrighty guys, so I've been working on this and this is what I got. I kind of improved the entrance a little bit, got some iron bars in here and added some slabs and stairs. And a similar thing at the entrance, and I've obviously got a sign up there saying to the branch mines. Got a nice little entryway area here, and I've got the stairs all the way down to the branch mines itself. I'm coming up with a design for the walls, and I would like your guys' feedback if you have a little bit of time to take a look at this and see what you guys think. I really like the recessed lamp lighting, and I've got some grey stained glass in front of it. I did try it with the black stained glass, and we can have a look at that. I didn't care for that one too much compared to the grey. That's the black. I don't know as I like that look as much as I like the grey look. So I would really appreciate you guys' feedback on that. That would be very, very helpful in building this. And let me know if you like the kind of beam look. I did want it to have kind of a mine shafty feel, but at the same time tying into the lab idea, making it look really clean and not so messy with all dirt and gravel everywhere. And the stone bricks really do complement that, I think, and the iron bars as well. So yeah, let's get this minecart hooked up then. So it's just going to be a straight rail down for right now, I think, and I'm going to add powered rails in and things like that further down the road. I just want to get the actual rail line hooked up, and I had to make these rails, and it's a real shame considering I have stacks of rails at my fort base and at the little island that we were on, but alas, no longer is that possible to get to those bases for the moment, so we're just going to have to kind of bite the bullet and make some. So we do kind of want a booster to get going, so we are going to have that, and we are going to have a wooden button which is going to power that, and we can put that right there. So let us get ourselves some powered rails going. Now, I need gold for that, I believe. Yeah. So I'm going to get some gold cooking up, actually. And, you know what, it's only going to be 32. So we need some gold. And this is why I saved my gold. A friend of mine, Mondo, was asking, why do you save all your gold in your LP series? You know, you don't use it for too much. For occasions like this is why I save it. Thing is, what you do use gold for is very expensive. So, now then, this is going to be a challenge. Remembering how to craft these things, I think it's that. No. Is it? Oh, it's that. Okay. And you get 6 each, so we want a couple more than 6, that's for sure. But let's just make 12 for right now. I'm also going to sleep past the night because I don't need creepers harassing me at the moment. So we'll do that, and then we'll head back into our little area here. So it's going to get that powered. Now we are going to want to go, maybe because it's uphill. This is the thing. Because it's uphill, it's going to be kind of difficult to determine exactly what I need here to get the right amount of upwards momentum going. So I think what we'd be actually better off doing is, now we've got our rails back, is starting it from the bottom and then seeing how many rails I need where to really get the momentum going to actually make a suitable minecart ride, because I don't want to be sliding around, I don't want it to be slow, that kind of thing. Might have to drag this back a little bit, which is what I was trying to avoid because we have that branch there, but it's not too bad, honestly. So if I put 3 in there, and that will provide that side of travel, and we'll get a button in there, and if I get my minecart down and actually plop it in here, you really don't get all that far, do you? And now if I push the button again, do I go again? No, so I have to kind of push myself in. But that's not too bad. So, we went not all that far. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I could just count the stairs. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 would be right there. This is what you would use on a straight line to track. How many pieces is that? 1, 2, 3. It's very hard to count these things, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that is 8. That is indeed 8. So I'm going to put the power track in there for right now. I'm just going to use the lever to power it. It is a little bit ugly, but I can work with that when I settle on a design that I'm happy with. I can't quite make that, so we would need to add powered rails here, pretty much. So it only gives us 6. Ah, yeah, we're going to have to kind of back up here a little bit to get in here. Still a little bit on the slow side. I would like it to be a little bit better than that if I could. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to change this from here and bring it into here. Might have to do something about that. That's perfect. So now we know how many rails we can have in between each, and this is going to use a lot of gold. I'm not too happy with parting with this amount of gold on a little project like this, honestly. I am going to get rid of that because we really don't need that, I don't think. It's not great. Maybe we do need that after all. I was not expecting that, but we might need that one after all. I'm also thinking about maybe putting in a detector track there so that it gets powered and then it pushes it back into this sort of corner area. I'm thinking that that may be the right thing to do with that. It's just experimenting at the moment, seeing what works. Let's get back into the back here. Yeah, okay, so we've got that bit figured out. So now what we need to do And also I could put detector tracks either side of this, I guess. It's not too bad to do that. Then I would get rid of that whole lever mess. But it is a little bit cheaper to make levers, so I'll probably try and do something with that first. So now we've worked that out, I'm going to add more powered rails to this and get it fully hooked up. And then we'll probably test it, and then we'll call it an episode. So I'm going to get on with that, guys, and I'm also going to make up some detector rails. Look at that, 32 of those, so that should give me... oh, not all that many. That's going to give me 30 of these powered tracks, which is not great, but it'll do. So I'm going to work on this, as I say, guys, and I will be back with you when I've finished it, and then we'll take a test ride. Okay, guys, so I worked on finishing the rail line, which we now have. So let's take a ride in the minecart. So we will now have a fully complete rail line up to the surface from our branch mines. Obviously it does need some tweaking, of course, and some finishing off. And we can go back down as well, like this. And this is going to greatly improve travel, and I think it's a nice little addition just to have, to save on time, if anything else. And I also worked in here a little bit, moved the furnaces, moved the chests out of here, kind of cleaned up the potato farm area. It's not fully complete yet, and I'm probably going to tweak it a little bit off camera. And we have beginnings of a storage area going on in there, and obviously the branch mines are over here. So we've kind of got more of a base established down here to actually do some branch mining. Now that's not all I did. I also tweaked the sort of staircase design a little bit, but I still want your guys' feedback on it. So all I did with this is I just kind of made the beams a bit smaller, so that instead of it being a 4x4 triangle, it's now a 3x3. I think it looks a little better. Let me know any feedback you have on that, and any suggestions or improvements that you may want me to add to this. And not done too much up here, obviously, because I felt that that's kind of finished, but if you do have any feedback on that as well, then that would also be very much appreciated. So still to do on this is obviously to finish up the sort of rail design that we've got going on here on the walls, and move the levers, things like that. I am going to add some detector rails here and there so that the cart goes into the right position, so that we will be ready to kind of use that in the future. And I also need to make a couple of tweaks down here, but we'll probably do that in a couple of episodes time, and off camera, because next episode we are going to go on that little quest and start finding some of those items. So we're going to go on a bit of a grand adventure to find these things, and it will make a nice change from building. And I hope you guys will like it too. So I will see you guys in the next episode. I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, and I hope that you like my plan. If you have any suggestions, as I say, put them down below in the comments. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time. So until then, guys, see you later, and have a good day.